Globalization has had a major effect on education and the jobs of teachers. One example of this is how students now must be fluent in the world of technology. But are 20th century learners able to teach a 21st century classroom? So we asked 21st century students if they thought they were ready for their future careers technology-wise.
Yes, I think I'm ready for my career because the middle school and the high school now have given me a good basic structure technology-wise.
Yes, because I have a basic understanding of technology.
No, because I do not think I've learned enough about technology to be able to move on to my career.
Now, globalization has affected more people than just students and teachers. School administration jobs have been affected by globalization. Principals now must make sure that their school can compete with schools all around the world. Technology has been a major flattener in the world of education, so I decided to ask a couple of administrators how they thought globalization has affected the learning of 21st century learners.
Well, first of all, we're competing with students all around the world. In fact, when we look at our test scores, we're compared with children and young adults in countries all around the world. So we have to look at what they're doing and how they're succeeding as we measure what we need to do.
Well, now that we absolutely know that all jobs can be competed for on a global scale, that means that what we have to do is prepare our kids so that they can compete. We had a comment from our superintendent the other day. She said she called American Express and got this gentleman that had a slight accent. And she said, "Can you tell me where you are speaking from?" And he says, "I'm not supposed to." She said, "Well, this is for an educational purpose. Can you please tell me?" And sure enough, he said, "I'm in Bangladesh. Bangladesh, one of the poorest countries in the world, right next to India. And we're competing for good jobs for American Express with everybody." I mean, so that's a good example. So we got to get our kids ready.
I then asked if they thought globalization has had a negative or positive effect on education today.
I wouldn't say it would be negative or positive. It just changes the challenges and the things that we need to be learning and things we need to be aware of. And it's different than it was last century.
Has to be positive. I mean, even though we are threatened by the competition for jobs, that makes us cognizant of the fact that we've got to do as best we can to have our kids ready. So that's got to be positive. Instead of hiding our head in the sand, we're doing something.
I then asked if they thought their job as a principal has become more of a challenge or stayed the same because of globalization.
I think mine, because I'm an elementary school teacher, has not changed as much because I'm teaching children the skills they need to learn how to learn. Yes, technology, I guess, has changed, but that's a piece of the 21st century. But I think later on, when they get into the middle and high school, they're looking at other standards and goals that they have to achieve because they're looking at their place in the world, not their place in the country.
Well, I mean, you can guess the answer to that one. It has to be harder to find ways that our staff, our faculty can motivate kids because they have to be pushed out of their comfort zone in order for them to really learn. If everything is easy, you're not learning because you're not thinking. You're not applying real-world problem-solving skills if it's simple for you. And this is an old story, but it's something that I think that even you would agree to. The teachers that have meant the most to students, the ones they remember the most, even from elementary school, middle school, high school, and later on, when we think back, are the ones that pushed us out of our comfort zone so that we could become better. Those are the ones that are the ones that we try to support and get it so that they can become one of those teachers that is remembered.
So, I found out globalization has affected how teachers teach, what they teach, and why they teach it. Technology has been the flattener of education because now people all over the world are competing for jobs right here in America. This is a major problem that is due to our education system right here in the U.S.